Hey guys, this is Vanessa P with Austin Underground, and we just sat through a performance choreographed by Andrea Ariel called Heart. Stay tuned for the interview. Hey guys, I'm here with Andrea Ariel, who actually choreographed this performance called Heart. So tell me, what actually inspired you? Because the choreograph was very detailed, the music was phenomenal, the lighting was amazing. What were your ideas and thoughts behind this process of this performance?
Well, the Heart really originated in the spirit of opening and connecting and collaborating. I guess I would say about a year ago, I had a 2-month period where 3 very important people in my life died. And I found myself completely sitting still in sort of in that grief place. And my own focus was very much to opening my heart and connecting to others. And as I was thinking of an idea of what I wanted to do next, I decided that that was the spark. Like, I had a lot of questions, and I thought, well, it would be very interesting to open these questions out to the community and to other artists and invite an investigation of the subject of heart on a bigger level, because I'm very interested in my work to bring a wider perspective, to bring many points of view, so that my work isn't saying, here's an idea and I want you to know this idea and have this idea. I want my work to say, I'm inviting you to ask questions, I'm inviting you to look at many points of view and many things about this subject. Then I also invited fellow artists in Austin that I've been wanting to work with, who I have been working with, and also some new people that I've never did a concert with before. I invited them to choreograph a piece around the subject of heart. So the seeds were planted with the artists and then also opened out to the community. And so that's really how this whole show started.
Yeah, that's great, because like when I was watching, I saw how people, they had this emotion in their face. Like, if not only were they dancing, but they were in a play, like if they were actors, like you can see their facial expressions, and I had to like zoom in, you know, because it was emotional, and I felt like if there was a story behind it of each little, I guess, performance that was done. And something in the beginning, whenever the girl was like with the dress and, you know, the flowers, I kind of thought that maybe, was that like a flower or a rose or something? It was beautiful, and the lighting that was hitting on it, it was great. It was like different colors of the rainbow.
Definitely. Amazing. That piece is actually an adaptation of a piece that was reconstructed from a woman named Loie Fuller from 1896. Well, Jessica Lindbergh, who's the performer who did that, for her master's degree work, she reconstructed these dances from 1896. And I saw her perform it at a fundraiser. And I saw it, and of course I already had heart inside my own heart. I was dreaming about the work I was going to make and all of that. And I saw that piece and I thought, it looks like the heart to me. You know, it felt like the heart billowing and billowing. So I invited her to do it, and I asked her if she would adapt it to this new piece of music from Graham Reynolds. So that's how that piece came to be. And then, of course, the lighting by Stephen Pruitt is his magic. That's his art.
Yeah.
You know, so he saw the dance, and then he became inspired to create the palette of light and color, so that it was very much, to me, that piece was very much about opening the heart, the fire of the heart.
Yeah.
You know. And I also wanted to get back to what you said about people's faces. I guess that's why I call it Andrea Ariel Dance Theater, because I very much work with dance and the technique and the skills of dance, but I'm also very much interested in the theater of it. And I feel like as an audience, we connect to each other through our faces, through our eyes. We see each other's bodies, and in a performance, of course, you're going to be watching all of the movement. But I feel like the connection to the person, to the soul or the spirit, a lot is told through the face. And this show is filled with very, very skilled performers.
Whenever you were coming up with these dance routines and everything, what inspired you? Because obviously it involved a lot of creativity and a lot of movements and a lot of great contemporary like movements and work and everything. And I just wanted to know, like, do you just go about your day and you see some people and do you just like, whoa, that person moved great, let me just do something with it? It's like, what inspires you? What makes you want to choreograph certain scenes, or what makes you think of all this stuff? Because I was looking at it and I was like, that's amazing. I just don't know if I'll be able to do anything like that.
Well, I mean, I think there's two parts of that. I feel like I am very much an observer in life. I'm very much a listener. So like I go through life and I'm always looking at what's going on around me. It's always sparking ideas. Heart was very much inspired by that on that level too, because I felt like I had conversations with so many people who were connecting to what was real in their heart and making changes in their life to make their life better. Like I just kept hearing stories after stories that people were shifting to really thinking about their heart or their life, where they were connected in their life to their heart. So I mean, I think yes, some movement does come from drawing from things you might see.
Yeah. And the performance was called Heart, so I automatically assumed it has to do with love, it has to do with heartache, and I didn't really know what to put my finger on. But when I came here, I constantly looked at the performance, and then I didn't know if it had to do with the heart attack, or because I heard a lot of like rhythm, like boom, 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 like, and then people ended up going to the ground, and I didn't know if it was because of a loss or if they had a heart attack. But I'm guessing it has to do with a loss. Like, was that like kind of like
that one piece that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think each piece probably. I mean, one of the goals about the show was that each piece would bring a different facet or dimension of the heart into the show. So each choreographer was very much investigating different aspects of the heart. So yes, there was one that is celebrating the heart, one that was about dying, and one that was about loss and joy, kind of like what I was saying about going through this loss. But then when the ones you've lost are no longer here, then what's left? You have to pick up your own self and come back to your spirit and live in honor of them. So I feel like after having a little section that was about death and another section that was about celebrating, accepting loss and then celebrating life. The last piece, which is the one I choreographed, for me was a very abstract exploration of the idea that we all come from one heart.
Today's performance, Heart, was located at the Rollins Theater at the Long Center for Performing Arts. Do you have any other upcoming performances or choreographed things that you would like to talk about?
Our next major show is called the Bowie Project. It's eventually going to have a different title, but that's a working title. But we're collaborating with Adam Sultan and the Super Creeps. It's a David Bowie cover band.
Yeah.
So it's going to be David Bowie music. We're going to do this thing called sound painting. Sound painting is a live compositional language. So there's a conductor that is conducting the musicians, the actors, the dancers, the singers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So there's like improvisation, there'll be choreography, there'll be scenes, and then there'll be music. The David Bowie Project is very much about identity and gender. I'm very excited about this. We're bringing a group from New York, the Strike Anywhere Performance Ensemble. They'll be collaborating with us, and this show is going to be the last weekend in January, January 29, 30, 31, and February 1st at the State Theater.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys had it. We're here with Andrea.
That's it.
Ariel, and she was the person who helped choreograph, and this was an amazing performance, and thank you for watching.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Carlos Ram with Austin Underground, and we're here at the Congress Bridge in downtown Austin, and we just finished seeing the bats. What a spectacular sight, it was amazing. Every year as many as 1.5 million Mexican free-tailed bats roost under this bridge, which means that they sleep under here between the months of March until November. And around sunset, tourists and citizens from Austin line up around the bridge behind us to come and see the bats fly off for the night. An amazing, spectacular view that everyone should come and check out. Actually, right behind us, several restaurants by the water offer an amazing view, as well as boat tours around dinner time. So you can come out here, or you can definitely sit, down here on the banks of the Lady Bird River, or you can kind of stand behind us, and you can come out for free and just check out the bats. It's an amazing view, and definitely come check out the bats before they migrate before the winter. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Carlos Ram, and today I'm here with the band The Main. So how are you guys doing today?
Excellent.
Forever Halloween is The Main's newest album and was the first to be recorded live. What was the process like tracking it tape to tape and doing it like an analog process?
It was all foreign to us, which I think promoted a lot of authenticity, a lot of earnest material that we were working on. I just think it's a really cool way to capture a bunch of emotion within a certain time frame. We were anxious and excited at the same time to go into the studio. There wasn't a whole lot of time spent overthinking things. We just kind of let it all happen, and I think it was a very, very beneficial kind of process for our band.
Did you guys use a different approach to writing the music and lyrics for Forever Halloween versus the approach that you guys would use for your past albums?
It was pretty much the same.
I think so, yeah.
As far as approaching the writing process, John always writes the initial idea for the song, or has melodies, lyrics, whatever it is, or sometimes full kind of demo. So we take all these stems that he has, get in a room, everybody kind of throws their own take onto it, and we've always kind of done it like that. That really didn't change for this album.
We're aware of the fact that it'd be the five of us in a room, so we weren't trying to create 1.5 million parts. We were making sure that each thing fit well together.
So how was it like working with producer Brennan Benson throughout the recording process, and what was some of the things that maybe you guys walked away learning from him?
I mean, we learned a lot. We like we were saying, before, we recorded in a completely different way than when we recorded all the rest of the record. So I think he kind of taught us to get out of the way of ourselves and just be okay with the fact that we're a band and we're gonna record like this, and to not be so concerned about perfection. And I think that was one of the biggest things that we learned.
That, and he's at the bottom of all of it, he's a musician himself. So having that as an outside influence with what we had already brought to him, I felt was really cool. We had never had a producer who was truly a musician at heart, so yeah, it added a totally different element for us.
And he made us feel like individuals and equals, you know. It didn't, you know, we were all intimidated just to not only record the album in the analog manner, but also to meet him. We're such huge fans of what he does.
Can I hop on the bus real quick, or are we in the middle of something?
What he does, but he, yeah, from day one, he made us feel comfortable, and I think that's something that we'll take away from it, just because, you know, deciding on who will produce future works of ours, you know, that's really important, and I don't know if we necessarily had that in mind. Not to say that the producers that we worked with in the past didn't treat us well, but it's just definitely something that's now on the checklist.
How do you guys think you guys have matured as musicians with the release of Forever Halloween?
I feel like we're finally, at least somewhat can call us a band. You know, doing the record live, it's a lot different. You know, a lot of bands, I mean, most bands these days are kind of, you know, you do it when you record, it's all separate. So it's like drums, bass, guitar, vocals. It was like, I mean, it was all of us playing at the same time. And, you know, I think that was a huge step for us. And, you know, I think that's a way that we'll keep recording from now on.
What is the significance of the album title, Forever Halloween?
It's, I guess, my realization that me personally, and just taking note of my surroundings, kind of acknowledging the fact that it's easy to convince yourself that, you know, maybe the clothes that you're wearing or the haircut that you have kind of determines who you are, and the people that you surround yourself with kind of make you who you are. And I know that it's inevitable that you're going to feed off of other people, but I think it's important that you take a look at what you're really boiling down to begin with. And for us, it kind of worked in our favor with the whole process, just because this, for the first time, is kind of a real, true representation of what we're capable of as a band. And I think that works harmoniously with the album title and artwork, and the way it all kind of is tied together. It's just kind of, this is who we are right now. Not to say we have it all figured out, but we're definitely proud of what we did, and you know, there's no gimmick behind it. It's just, this is what we did, and we're pumped on it.
How does the content in Forever Halloween differ from the content of your previous albums?
Musically, I just feel like it's just real. It's just raw. It feels like, you know, every song feels like it has a pulse to it. It doesn't feel like everything's snapped to this grid and polished. It's, you know, there are mistakes, imperfections. So, content-wise, I just think it's who we actually are as a band at this point. It's not really, you know, we didn't fuck with anything. It's just us.
Yeah, we had the freedom too of kind of messing around with a bunch of Brendan's gear. I mean, he had a bunch, you know, him being a guitar player himself. I know these guys were really excited about that, because for the first time they had someone who they could trust telling them that a guitar tone sounded great, and you know, those came like that. And we are kind of a guitar-driven band, you know, and I feel like that's really showcased on this album. And I feel like not only that, but each individual part that everybody's playing makes sense. I don't know, I think we're more aware of what we're doing now, more conscientious of it. And, you know, I think in the past we just wrote songs, we recorded those songs, and that was kind of it. But this was a little more than that. I think, you know, we lived it a little bit more, we breathed it a little bit more, and I think that kind of shines through.
So musically, you guys have developed and matured as the main sound at a persistent and rapid rate. So looking back, did you guys expect to see yourselves where you are now, you know, today?
I don't think we ever saw anything, to be honest. I think we just kind of made the most of every scenario that we've been in, and we'll try to continue to do so as long as people continue to listen. So
Cool. So Forever Halloween is the first album that you guys are going to release on vinyl, and because it was recorded in an analog setting, sonically it's going to sound really, really well. What is the significance of you guys' album being released on vinyl for your band?
I think just because the way we did record, it was kind of made sense that this is the first one that we're gonna put on vinyl. I know we all buy vinyl and we respect it and love it. So
Sound quality's there.
yeah, so it was like it just made sense.
It's more of a thing, especially for our parents, because I know my dad, told me stories about him waiting in line for New Zeppelin albums and stuff like that on vinyl. So that's how music used to be consumed and digested, and it's really great to see that it's kind of regaining its traction and coming back, because I know all of us find great satisfaction in finding, Tonight's Tonight by Neil Young or whatever it is. So it's like, it's special for us because we've never had the opportunity to do it, and now that kind of the cards are all in our hands, we can dictate whatever it is we want to do.
What are the sources of you guys' inspiration?
I think right now we're really inspired by other bands that have kind of gone against the grain. Bands like Wilco, who kind of were backed into a corner at one point in their career and came out better than ever.
Bands that are comfortable with speaking their mind, and just persistence and just passion, stuff that you can feel, stuff that's tangible in an audio sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but something that you can almost feel, you can almost reach out and grab. And I think that's something that we're striving to do.
This one, help me out, all right.
Nice. So a few days ago, you guys celebrated I think it was the 3rd anniversary of Black and White, and the 5th anniversary of Can't Stop, Won't Stop. So you guys still play those songs live, some of them from those albums. How do you guys keep them current, and so you guys don't get bored of the old material?
No, there's songs we're playing tonight that we haven't played in 4 years or something. So just not playing them for a while and kind of revisiting them. I mean, I'm having a great time doing some of those old songs, just as much as the new stuff. So just not overplaying the same song over and over. I think helps a lot. And it's a lot of fun playing them. I'm not bummed on it at all.
Cool deal. So the last 2 albums you guys have released have been independently, and you guys have been able to explore more boundaries with them. Do you guys prefer releasing your material independently or through a label?
Making the music that we want to make, and if that means that we're on a label that promotes that environment, then we'd be on a label. But every label that we've been on doesn't seem to feel the same way. So I mean, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it, but at this point we get to do what we want to do, and that feels nice.
What are your thoughts on the music industry of today's society?
Wide open. I think it's cool that, pretty much, we can carve our own path. We can do absolutely anything we want because there is no right way to do it right now. There's no set thing that's how you have to do things. So for us, that's exciting, and it lets us find completely different ways to express what we want to express to people.
Cool. So is there anything that maybe you guys want to say to the public?
Just the fact that we get to have this back and forth between us and the people that listen to music and come to the shows. That's just something that you just can't get doing absolutely anything else. So I think we're just thankful that people are into what we're doing, and hopefully we do our best to express that and just put it into actions that means a lot to us.
Thank you. That's an official thank you.
Yeah.
Tell me how to feel like we did when we were young. Oh, tell me how to feel like we did when we were young, so young. Yeah, you were dancing to your favorite song.
Of course, I already had heart inside my own heart. I was dreaming about the work I was going to make and all of that.